Love, Death, and Robots. Let's get into it. What is good, everybody? Richie here, and welcome back to the channel. Before we dive right into things, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're somebody new, and go ahead and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all my shenanigans here on the channel. And yeah, so let's get into it. One of my favorite shows on Netflix, Love, Death, and Robots. So volume 3 just dropped. I want to say it was a couple of weeks ago, and I finished it all in the span of a day. Volume 3 is absolutely phenomenal. Now, if you're not familiar with what Love, Death, and Robots is, it's essentially a mini series done by different studios. They all come together and they do these little stories that involve the premise of love, death, or robots. And it's a very unique experience. You can typically watch an episode, and hypothetically, let's say episode 1 has nothing to do with episode 5. So it's an anthology of fantastic. It's an anthology of fantastically done visual effects, animation, and storytelling. It's some of the stories are so good and so thrilling that it doesn't even necessarily have an end to the story. It just kind of leaves it up to interpretation of the person who's watching it. I really enjoy the show because some of the episodes make you think outside the box a little bit. It makes you feel something. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you ask questions. It's not, essentially it's not a Michael Bay film in any way, shape, or form. It's very thought-provoking. Makes you think outside the box. Makes you ask questions about life and love and robots. But overall, Volume 3 is absolutely incredible. This is spoiler free, obviously, but there's a few of them that are just so much. They stood out so much to me, and I just wanted to share a little bit of it with you. There's one that's about a zombie apocalypse, but it's miniature. So everything in the episode is tiny. The zombies are tiny. The people are tiny. The scenery is tiny. It's just, I never thought you've seen a zombie apocalypse a million times. Like, you're familiar with The Walking Dead. You're familiar with, Dawn of the Dead, all these zombie things. And you just when you think you've seen it all, there's one out there that's a miniature zombie apocalypse, and it's in Volume 3 of Love, Death, and Robots. And it's so funny. It's done so well. It's masterfully crafted. I love it. So there's another episode in Love, Death, and Robots that is directed by David Fincher, and if you don't know who he is the director of Fight Club. He does a lot of very obscure and very thought-provoking films, and he does this one in Love, Death, and Robots where there are these pirates on a ship, and they have a giant evil crustacean on board that's killing everybody. And it's not one of those thoughtless bloodbath type animations. It makes you ask a lot of questions. It makes you wonder what's gonna happen next, and it's definitely one of the more standout of the episodes in Volume 3. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorites that they seem to be continuing is this trope of the 3 robots from Volume 1 that are on a tour of Earth after all of civilization has been wiped out and all the humans are dead. And I love the cynical kind of dark humor that goes on in the episodes of these 3 robots on like a tour, like on vacation. It's very comical. I love the fact that they've decided to continue this one, that it was a fan favorite. It's one of my personal favorites. Seeing three robots on vacation discussing what human life was like and how stupid humans are, it definitely makes you think a lot. It makes you question a lot of things, and it has kind of this strange feel-good type of tug at your heart, I guess, is what I would say. I enjoy it a lot. It's one of my favorites, and I don't know, there's only so much I could say. I love the fact that they're continuing these three robots who are on like a tour or vacation or whatever. It brings me a lot of joy. So yeah, it's one that that I love a lot. So if you're one of those types of people that's tired of seeing the same thing over and over and over again, I would highly suggest, if you've never seen Love, Death and Robots, that you give it a shot. You could watch volume 1 through 3 in probably an hour and a half. It's a fantastic show. It makes you think a lot. There's some episodes that are just straight action. You don't really have to think too much. It's just, overall, I'd say it has a very wide appeal to anybody who gives it a shot, I would say. So yeah, so I'm gonna go and put a big number on it. I rate volume 3 of Love, Death and Robots. It is a 4.5 out of 5. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would highly suggest you watch it. Like I said, volume 1 doesn't necessarily have anything to do with volume 2 and so on and so forth. You could watch any episode and basically hop into a brand new story. So yeah, that's it. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.